The Honda Civic Tourer matches the Civic hatch up to B-pillars, and has the same wheelbase, but is a considerable 235 mm longer in rear overhang. Far from distorting the hatchback's design, however, it could be said that the Estate offers the more balanced aesthetic of the two, and it's much more interesting to look at than rivals like the Volkswagen Golf Estate and Skoda Octavia Estate. In 2017, Honda is set to start selling its 10th generation Civic, which will initially be sold as just a hatchback, but will be swiftly followed by a Tourer later in the year. Despite that wedge-like profile, the Civic Tourer boasts a class-leading 624 liters of boot space below its retractable, stowable tonneau cover, including 117 liters beneath the two-stage false floor. Thanks in part to the fuel tank being unusually sited under the front seats and the space-efficient rear torsion beam suspension, the seats can be folded flat to create a vast 1,668-liter space, which is both sensibly shaped and easily accessible via the knee-height boot lip that's almost flush to the floor. You can also create a tall central load space by flipping up the rear seat squabs. Up front, the firm, supportive seats are roundly adjustable, as is the steering column, and the combination of high-quality plastic finishes and interior design to match the adventurous exterior impress, but dowdy switchgear lets the side down. A 6-footer can sit behind another with just enough legroom and headroom, and visibility is pretty good considering the car's rising glass line. With the 9th generation Civic drawing towards its twilight, there are 4 trims available for the Tourer and differentiate slightly from the hatchback's offering. The entry-level S models come with 16-in alloys, climate control, DAB radio, Honda's active city braking system and flip-up magic seats, while upgrading to the S-Navi gains. Honda's 7.0-inch touchscreen infotainment system complete with Garmin-powered sat-nav. Those who choose the SE Plus trim get a few more luxuries including auto wipers and lights, and all-round parking sensors. However, the inclusion of sat-nav is an optional extra, while those wanting it included plus a few more bits. For a small premium can opt for the range-topping SE Plus Navi trim. There are 2 engines to choose from, a 118 bhp 1.6 idtec turbodiesel and a 140 bhp vtec petrol. Both are supplied with a slick, shortish throw 6-speed manual gearbox, while the petrol car can also be spec'd with a 5-speed torque converter. The diesel costs £10.10 £12.10 more than the manual petrol, but is over 60% more fuel efficient, 72.4 to 74.3 miles per gallon against 43.5 to 45.6 miles per gallon, and also emits far less CO2, 99 to 103 grams/km against 146 to 149 grams/km. So most will soon recoup the premium. The oil burner is the better performer, too. The manual petrol is quicker from 0 to 62 miles per hour, 9.2 seconds versus 10.1 seconds for the diesel, but is at once boomy and breathy, while the idtec pulls strongly from low down and plays on its massive torque advantage as revs climb. It boasts 221 pounds-foot to the vtec's paltry 128 pounds-foot. The diesel can be a little noisy when pushed, but it's never coarse. The brakes are amply effective but feel a bit wooden. A stint in a passively damped development car exhibited a firmish ride, so calibrated to cope with a heavy payload. The more impressive selection is Honda's new rear-only adaptive damping system, supplied by Sachs. It brings most of the effectiveness of a 4-corner adaptive setup and offers comfort, normal and dynamic modes. The former smooths out motorway stints nicely, while the latter tightens up for rural sprints. In all cases, however, the dampers retain healthy body control, and shouldn't be overly blunted by a boot full of clobber. The steering is light and responsive away from the forgiving center, although the petrol model's weight-saving blesses it with a fair bit more pointiness than the diesel. The handling is more competent and benign than it is incisive and engaging, though, and the ride is generally comfort-biased. Bumps and scars are more heard than felt. The Civic Tourer's huge and versatile load space, comfortable ride and strong yet frugal diesel engine are impressive, but like for like it is somewhat overpriced against its competitors.